He's talking about snowflakes, right? Not people who listen to the show. I'm guessing. 9:34. Bill Colley with you on Top Story on News Radio 1310 KLIX and News Radio 1310.com. We're at 27. Going to be warming up about another 10 degrees before the day is finished. Going to rain on Saturday, but otherwise fairly nice tomorrow and somewhat nice on Sunday. We'll get into the long-range forecast for Christmas probably tomorrow and get a better idea of what it's going to be like a week out. I just happened to be looking over my rundown of my emails this morning. Is anybody going to go see the Star Wars movie? Or if I'm asking that question, are you already in line? There have been people who've been camped out outside of some theaters for days. They had to take days off from work. Or, well, maybe they don't have a job. But then if they don't have a job, where did they get the money to go to the movie? I remember when the very first one came out and no one knew that there were going to be 3 trilogies. I don't even think the people who created it thought about 3 movies, much less 9, because this is installment 7. And the movie that I saw way back in, 1977 or so, that was, if I'm right about this, that version of Star Wars, they didn't know if it was going to fly or not. A lot of critics didn't like it. Gene Shalit, I guess, was the only person who gave it a couple of thumbs up. And I think they decided to put that movie together because they tied it all up at the end neatly. And then they suddenly said, well, there's going to be 2 more. And then somebody said, gee, these are making a lot of money, so we need 3 more. Then they said, well, the 3 that you just saw are not the beginning of the story. They're in the middle. So forget that. And we're going to put 3 more together. And then we're going to have, after those 3, we're going to have the 3 to wrap up the story. And spread it all out over, decades. But the one thing I remember about going to see Star Wars, the very first movie, I went to the eye doctor. My dad took me to the eye doctor, and the eye doctor put drops in my eyes. My brother and sister had gone along with us, and they wanted to see the movie. So my dad, listening from the back seat, can we go to the movies? Can we see Star Wars? Can we go to the movies? Can we see? All right, we're going. And we got to the movie. And up on the screen, these words start coming across the screen, like it's a preamble. If you can read it, it tells you a little bit about what's going on. It sets up the movie. Well, I had the eye drops in, and even if I'd had my glasses on, I couldn't read it. So my old man, in the middle of this crowded theater, sat there and read me the words aloud. Then when the movie came on, even though it was a little blurry, the screen was big enough I could make out what was going on with all the action. So that turned out not to be a problem. As big a bear as he could sometimes be, every once in a while he would do something nice for someone. So I just remember that part of it. But I can't imagine. I have no interest in going to see this movie tonight. I didn't really pay attention. Number 1, 2, and 3 came out in quick order in the late 70s and early 1980s, and I went to all of them. And I used to go to the movies when I was younger up to 4 times a week. Now, though, you can go home, you can click on Netflix, and you can watch all sorts of neat things for $9 a month. Or, have some other alternatives out there. Or go get the DVD. But I can't imagine anybody camping out for days on end to see the movie. Here's what you do. The movie opens tonight. If you're worried about long lines or sellouts, go on Sunday or go on Monday. Believe me, you'll find a seat. It won't be a big issue. And you can probably wait a few days. Nothing will change. The movie will be the same ending on Monday as it has today. It'll be pretty much. And the thing is, the little bit I saw of the second 3, that second trilogy, they weren't very good. Oh, a lot of flashing lights and, simulated explosions and things like that. But I'm scratching my head saying, why would anybody bother when you could go get an order of chicken wings? Speaking of that, too, I was walking around the office this morning, and I noticed some people have their Christmas. We have a beautiful tree in our lobby, right next to the old Garth Brooks poster, which is starting to fade. It's about 20-some years old. But there's a Christmas tree right by the Garth Brooks poster. And the ladies have all put out Christmas candies. And if you go into the conference room, there's Christmas candies and cookies left and right. Dave Ramsey's people sent along some really good cookies. Had one of those yesterday. But some of the desks, people have decorated their desks for Christmas. But here's the thing. If you were a stranger walking through our office and you saw a decorated desk and then you saw a desk that wasn't decorated, you would know, wouldn't you, right away, that the decorated desk belongs to a woman and the desk with no decorations on it, that belongs to a guy. And where I live in the apartment complex that I live in, this should be a safety note to women. We know where you all live in the building because the guys didn't put any wreaths on the doors. The women did. And women will do these really elaborate things. They'll take foil wrapping paper, like red wrapping paper. They'll do the whole door in it. Then they'll put a bow over it. Then they'll hang a wreath on it. Nothing screams woman louder than that. So if you want your safety during the holiday season, you know what? Do what I do. You don't put anything out. And then when people will walk by and think a guy lives there, we better not bother him. A couple of thoughts about the holidays and movies this morning. 20 minutes away from 10 o'clock. Bill Colley with you on Top Story on News Radio 1310 KLIX and newsradio1310.com. Still holding steady at 27. Looking for a high temperature, hopefully about 10 degrees warmer than that today.